Good evening from Warne Field in Brawley, California. I am Tom Ronco. With me tonight is Coach Don Biaggi, and we are set to bring you exciting 2021 Wildcat football as the Wildcats continue their quest to win an Imperial Valley League football title. And tonight the opponents will be the Calexico Bulldogs. And Calexico, who has had some ill fortunes, so to speak, and a plethora of coaches, something like 15 in the last 18 years or 19 years. I guess John Tyree was there for 3 seasons. They are coming back under Coach Fernando Solano, and they come into tonight's ball game with an overall 4-3 record. They are 1-1 in Imperial Valley League play. Calexico has lost to the Palo Verde Yellow Jackets. That was at home 15-6. Then they demolished Castle Park by a score of 60-6. The next week they defeated Calipatria on the road up at Veterans Field in Calipat by a score of 27-0. Defeated the Yuma High Criminals with Coach Kurt Warne up there. And that score was 21-12. Lost to the Hoville Vikings 29-28. And again, missed a couple of extra points early, then had to go for 2 to try to tie the game and couldn't do it, or to win the game and couldn't do it. Central Spartans defeated them to open IVL play 42-6. Then they defeated the Southwest Eagles 25-15. And tonight they square off against the Brawley High Wildcats again with a positive record overall for the first time in a while. They are 4-3 going into tonight's game. They are 1-1 in IVL. The Brawley High Wildcats come into tonight's game with a 6-2 overall record. They are 2-0 in Imperial Valley League play. Brawley opened the season with 2 consecutive losses, but highly regarded Mater Dei in the top 10 in the San Diego section CIF rankings, and that loss was 53-21. But the game was actually much closer than that, and the Wildcats were in it for most of it. Then they took on the Valley Center Jaguars at Valley Center, and not too many people come away from Valley Center with a victory. And the Wildcats lost there by a score of 17-6. Then Brawley just went on a tear and has not lost since. Traveled to Indio on a Thursday night. This is therefore our second Thursday night game. Also throw in a Saturday game. And 7 of 10 games for the Brawley Wildcats this year have been not on a Friday night, which I find kind of interesting. The Indio Rajas fell to the Wildcats by a score of 48-13. Indio, who was 0-1 going into that game, has since won 3 football games. They are 3-4, so not a bad Indio team for the Wildcats to defeat. The Cibola Raiders are 2-3. They came to Brawley for Brawley's first home game on the 10th of September, and the Wildcats defeated them soundly 49-8. Then Gila Ridge had bus problems, couldn't show up on Friday, showed up on Saturday, and it didn't matter to the Wildcats. Brawley won that one by a score of 49-13. Gila Ridge, with the first female head coach in Arizona, high school varsity head coach in Arizona history, is 4-1. The Fallbrook Warriors then came to town in a game that Coach Don Biaggi and I covered. And I'll tell you what, Fallbrook gave Brawley all they wanted to. Brawley came out kind of sleepwalking after 3 lopsided victories. And I'll tell you what, they didn't wake up till overtime, Don Biaggi, and they won it 20-14.
The games have been really different each time as the Brawley Wildcats were taking their time to figure out what it is they were doing against them on defense and also what they could do on offense. There have been very few times where they played an erratic game, and fortunately we got by that, and that was the Imperial game. I'm sure that Coach got them back on track, and we'll see how this goes tonight. I've been watching Calexico over there going through some of their drills. Tom?
Okay, Coach, and then after Fallbrook's scare, the Wildcats again ran into a outmanned Southwest Eagle team to open up IVL, winning that one 50-6. And last Friday night, we brought you that game. Imperial took the opening kickoff and pretty much jammed it down Brawley's throat. all the way down to score on 6 or 7 running plays. Then they recovered the opening kickoff when Brawley seemed to have some disarray on special teams, and it didn't look very good at that point, Coach.
No, this is a game that Brawley, I don't know what the total stats were, but they had penalties all at the wrong time, and those penalties cost them at least 10, maybe even 14 points.
Okay, well, it did, because the Imperial Tigers fought hard, but Brawley eventually prevailed by a score of 27-15. Tonight, the Imperial Tigers will be taking on the Central Spartans, and Central, for some reason, and this always, I can't explain it. Central has 10 home Friday night games, Coach. They don't have to play on Thursday. I guess just we do.
I don't think they have to go anywhere, do they?
Well, it's because of the referees, we are told. The referees have asked that all teams take a Thursday night game so that they have enough officials for Friday night. But apparently, again, that rule does not apply to the Central Spartans, who play it, right? I guess Friday night football, Friday night lights is Friday night lights. Wildcat football brought to you on the Desert Review by Wildcat. One World Beef Packers, Joel Gonzalez, and the Desert RV folks on Main Street also. A little bit down the street, the Mann Company, A&R Construction, Fried Chapel and Mortuary, Brandt's Beef, and Ojeda Industries. Also by Hart Insurance Centers in Brawley and El Centro, Johnny's Burritos in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro, Brownies in the Town Pump, and we'll get right into that in a moment, Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate, Clayton Drain Tile and Maintenance, Good Friends Carter Taylor and Lidco, the Dom Team for Real Estate, OK Rubber Tire, Clicka Parker Insurance, and Jordan Central Implements in Brawley, El Centro, and Indio. And we want to again clarify the Brownies Town Pump. We have been telling you for the short season in the spring and most of this long season that the Town Pump and Brownies were kind of one. They were in the same location, but that Gabe Revelar had moved the kitchen and everything from the Town Pump out to into Brawley to Brownies. So they would close at about 3 o'clock and stop being Brownies, open at 7, breakfast, lunch, close at 3, open up at 5 as a Town Pump. Now the Town Pump, Gabe, get to move everything back to Westmoreland. And so somehow the ambiance and the flavor for a lot of people, or some people, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but some people, and they are now back out in Westmoreland. So if you're looking for the Town Pump, it's back where you thought and wanted it to be. And again, for breakfast and lunch, you want to go to Brownies on Main Street in Brawley. Okay, out at the center of the field, you can see that we're having a coin toss, and it's taking long enough, but now a referee's probably talking things over, and we're going to see what happens. He is talking to Calexico, and we'll see, trying to kind of zone in. So the referee is separated the two teams. He said Brawley won the toss and declined and will kick off, so they will receive it in the second half. And Calexico will receive Don Biaggi to open up this football game. Nobody else playing tonight but us. But tomorrow night we'll have a few games. Imperials at Central. According to Cal Preps, that game should be 31-19 in favor of the Central Spartans. We, of course, are rooting for David Shaw and the Imperial Tigers. Also on Friday night, it will be the Southwest Eagles. They're traveling for a non-league game to take on Palo Verde Valley up in Blythe. And with the new leaguing, which we're going to talk about, will become more of a story after the season. That's a big game, because really if Palo Verde beats Southwest and Calexico beats Southwest, the team that could be relegated to the Desert League next year is the Southwest Eagles.
Yes.
Okay. Also coming up Friday night, a big game in the Desert League between Vincent Memorial, who is 2-0, and the Hopeville Vikings, who are 0-1. Hopeville overall is 5-2, and so is the Vincent Memorial Catholic Fighting Scots. But the difference is in league. Vincent is open with wins over Calipatria and Mountain Empire, while Hopeville opened up and got pretty much beaten down by a score of 40-8 up in Blythe last week. Hopeville at one point looked like they might be moving up to the Imperial Valley League, but they'll have to kind of turn their season around. Also tomorrow night, Calipatria under Coach Matt Self, former Brawley High Wildcat, will be at Mountain Empire in Pine Valley. And again, we told you the Southwest Eagles will be in Blythe. So that brings you up to date on all of that. We are waiting for the kickoff. And again, a pretty, not a big squad from Calexico, Don, but walking down there amongst them, they got some pretty good sized young men.
Yeah, they showed that as they walked by, but I was watching them warm up. They have some quickness with them, so it's going to be interesting to see how they match up with our quickness and their quickness to try to get in the backfield and disturb things.
Okay, again, a team that is trying to come out under a coach that really his first head coaching job. He was hired as an assistant, formerly an assistant at San Luis High School, the Sidewinders. He lives in Yuma, Arizona, and commutes to Calexico. And his pedigree with the Sidewinders, coach, not the greatest reference. The Sidewinders gave up football when he was one of the coaches. Not that he was the head coach, but he's done a wonderful job at Calexico. He's got the kids energized, and we are ready for our national anthem. Okay, our national anthem by the Brawley Wildcat Band. You can tell that the weather is broken because instead of being in T-shirts, they are in their parade uniforms. And, of course, the pink plume on the top is because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm not sure, I can't see the football officials, but I know as a member of the Imperial Valley Volleyball Referees Association, thanks to our former president and assigner, we all have pink whistles to get in the spirit of things. The girls wear pink bows. Not seeing a lot of pink out here in particular. And as I look across the way, as you look during the game, you're going to see that Calexico does not travel very well. Coach Biaggi and I were down at covering the Vincent Memorial Mountain Empire game, and they had quite a better crowd than this, I would say.
Yeah, yes, they did, and I was hoping they'd have far greater numbers in the stands. The kids deserve to be followed regardless of the records and et cetera, but they're playing very well.
Okay, Brawley will kick off, having deferred the winning the coin toss and deferring.
Tom, some of the things for Calexico that I was watching warm-ups, it seems like Calexico rotates in and out a number of defensive setups. Seems maybe their primary one is the 5-3-3, the standard. And then I watched them shift into a 4-4-3, and then they shift into a 6-2-4. So you can watch that, 6 linemen, 2 linebackers, and an umbrella type of 4 defensive backs. So you can look for those depending on what Brawley shows on offense for them to move to. There may be some other adjustments too, but that's football, and it's great to see coaches using all these different alignments.
Okay, well, we'll see what the and I'll tell you, it's been something that Calexico coaches have told me all the way back to Al Gutierrez in the 1970s when I first came to the Valley. A great football coach and track coach, I believe, and just a great man. And got a nice stone and a plaque dedicated to him down at Willis Ward Field in the border city. And Al used to tell me that he always looked forward to playing Brawley because he said all the teams showed up for practice on Monday. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was making excuses because they wanted to beat Brawley. So there's a lot of enthusiasm going to go into this football game. And here goes Jorge Haro. And he does a pooch kick, and we're going to see who has it. And they're going to say that the ball is Brawley's ball. So just like that, the Brawley High Wildcats, and I'll tell you what, Don Biaggi, I don't know why anybody would be surprised about that because Brawley has started every game that way.
Yeah, absolutely. The kid came on up to catch it. He looked like in good position, boy, and that thing hit his chest, and it was gone. And Brawley's 3 or 4 athletes were right there to pounce on it. So we got it 1st and 10 on Calexico's 38-yard line.
1st and 10 Wildcats on the Calexico 38. And out comes Ethan Gutierrez, your junior quarterback in his, second, 2.5. He had a sophomore season, but it was that abbreviated pandemic season. Throwing out in the flat to Brian Portis, and Portis is going to get on the, I guess you call that a wing-back screen? Anyway, he picks up not too much.
Yeah, the right side of Calexico's line that was 52, really shot in there rather quickly and got over there and kind of did a little disruption. It were a big game. We ended up with 1 yard.
Okay, I did not get the fumble recovery on that kick. I'll have to work on that. Here we go. Now comes 2nd and 9 for the Wildcats, and they are now at the 37-yard line of Calexico. And here goes Ethan Gutierrez, kind of weaving his way down the line, and Ethan is finally driven out of bounds. Whenever it develops slowly like that and Ethan has to dance around, Don, he's not a good dancer.
No, he ran into his blockers. They got pushed back and became blockers for Calexico, and he wasn't able to hit that seam that he usually does.
Okay, down to the 34-yard line. This may be 4-down territory. I have no doubt that it is. Brawley just getting loose. If you haven't gotten your seat yet, we are just barely a minute and a half into the game. And Brawley with a 3rd down and 5 inside Calexico territory. And we get it now. And here goes Isaiah Young. And Young will have the 1st down. Nice carry by Isaiah. Coming back from an injury. He's been, running a little gingerly, one might say, Don.
Yeah, that particular one, they brought up 2 linebackers and rushed 6-7 rushers, and he was able to get past that with a nice little seam, but the blockers.
Needed 5, got 6. Here we go. No rest for the weary, and here comes Gutierrez. He throws out, and it's in and out of the hands of number 17, Robert Platt. And that could be troubled on when you throw that short pass. There's a lot of white helmets around that ball.
Yeah, for certain. The receivers, wherever that ball's in, he's got to make sure he gets it in his hands, or at least don't allow them to intercept it. It
goes in and out of the hands. First pass by Ethan. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 28. Opening drive, Brawley recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff, and the Wildcats are driving. Back to pass is Gutierrez. Throws over the middle and hits Isaiah Young, and that was also kind of dangerous.
Yeah, they came up. If you saw that one, those of you who are watching it, you saw that right side of the line bring up two extra people, so they were rushing seven people. And Isaiah swung out into there, but one of the linebackers held because he's focusing on Isaiah.
Yeah, everybody has a spy on Isaiah Young, and with good reason. He is one of the premier running backs this year in the Imperial Valley. And again, has been a little hobbled with nagging injuries, has 2 weeks off before the Bell game, so he should be ready for that. And it's going to be the option, and here goes Ethan Gutierrez. And Calexico's doing a pretty good job at defending that, Don.
Oh, yes. The outside defensive back and linebacker rolled right out with that fake in there and was right on Ethan before he can really make a good turn. He made 5 yards, but it could have been a touchdown.
Okay, +5 for Ethan. And here we go. Lone back is Isaiah Young. Trips on the right, nobody on the left, but tight end Robert Platt. And this is going to be an inside handoff to Young. And Young, I believe, is going to have the first down.
Yeah, he took that off the right side between the guard and the tackle, and there was a nice little seam there, and he rode it until
who is making a statement on the opening drive. And with 8:13, chewing up a lot of clock, and here goes Ethan Gutierrez, and Gutierrez bounces off a tackler for the touchdown.
That was great. He made a great fake to Young, and Young carried it out so well that when he pulled it out, he had a great seam and all the way into the end zone.
So with 8:08 to go here in the first quarter, Brawley cashes in the Calexico mistake with a touchdown, and they will lead by a score of 7-0. And Jorge Haro is going to kick the extra point. There is a flag, however, and they're going to say dead ball offside on Calexico. So Brawley's going to decline it, and the Jorge Haro, Don, with another nice extra point, and Brawley's up 7-0.
Yeah, I know there's something going on. If they decline it, it should be good. Are they going to have to kick it again?
No, now they're going to go in and go for it. No.
It's,
I don't know what this is all about. I really don't, but we'll see what happens. Hot Rodez, okay. I'll kick it halfway to Hauteville this time if that will make you happy. Well, look at the scoreboard. Brawley 7 and Calexico nothing. And we'll be back after this message.
And you're keeping it covered.
Brad, I can help with coverages. Man-to-man coverage, zone coverage, combo coverage.
I don't know, Peyton. I was thinking the types of coverages that your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, like home, auto, business, life, farm, boat, your tour bus.
Products availability varies by state, agent, and other factors. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Hart Insurance Center, 898 Main Street, Brawley, or in the Prince Plaza, 1503 North Imperial Avenue, El Centro. Since 1945, we have a heart for personal service.
Okay, welcome back to Warne Field. Tom Ronco with Coach Don Biaggi bringing you exciting 2021 Brawley Wildcat football. They have taken a 7-0 lead after recovering a fumbled kickoff, and we'll see what happens on this kickoff. Hotero now is going to hit it a little deeper, and a fair catch called for at the 28-yard line by number 7. From Calexico. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs at their own 27-yard line. And we'll see what kind of offense they bring, Don. They bring a couple of different quarterbacks. Let's see who's going to run it. First in is number 22. That's Albert Zasueta. And Albert is a senior, 5'11", 190 pounds, runs a Wildcat. But warming up, Don, he threw the ball pretty well. In motion is a man. He's going to give it. No, he's going to keep it on the option. And when you run against it, and it's good, nice gain. Let me see who's at the bottom of that pile.
You got Jay Platt and number 31 leading the tacklers.
Okay, that's 22. That is Zasueta. And he picks up 5 yards, so give him a +5 on that one. And Calexico immediately now has a 2nd and 5 from their own 32-yard line.
You got number 19 and there's a back in 22. 22 is taking it, 21 is behind.
Okay, a little bit of confusion as they were a man short. Now 44 is going to come back into the picture, and they go with a double tight end. So now Brawley's going to have to rotate a little bit. And a little bit of confusion, and I don't know what that play was, but Zasueta gets kind of swarmed on by the Wildcats, leading the charge out there for Brawley. I'll wait till he turns around. Number 32 for the Wildcats, that's Mario Casares, a junior tight end and inside linebacker, and it's going to be -4, so a little bit of a cumbia. 1 step forward, 1 step back. Let's see what 3rd down brings, because they're now up to a 3rd and 9 from the 28-yard line. Calexico trailing 7-0 if you just joined us. 6:41 to go here in the first period. Play comes in, number 3, Andres Ramirez, talking about it, and they're going to pass. Here's Zasueta, and Zasueta's going to run, but there's a spy there, and that is Platt. And Platt grabs him around the shoulders and bulldogs him down. And again, Zasueta at 5'11", Don, 190 pounds, is not, he's not a little guy, but he does not make the first down. But he gets 8 yards.
Yeah, he's out to the 35. The play was called for a pass play, obviously, but number 3 who came in was the primary receiver. And when he was covered, that's when Zasueta took off.
Okay, we think we're going to see a punt, so let's see what happens. And again, they are short a man, so this is losing a little bit of faith in that you got to get everybody out there, and 21's going like, okay, what do I do now that I'm in here? And Brawley goes after it, and it's a home run in a grain elevator as it hits on the 47, bounces back to the 44. So Brawley is going to take over 1st and 10 at the Calexico 44-yard line. So the net on that punt, Don, is 9 yards.
Yeah, when he kicked it, as he stepped through, his toe was up, and that ball's going straight up and rolling backwards.
My coach, back in the days, coach called that a home run in a grain elevator. Straight up. All right, Brawley takes over at 5:28.
Now we got a 4-2-4 right now.
Okay, Calexico and 4. They're trying to spread it. Brawley now with trips, and instead the give is to Isaiah Young, and Young just runs straight ahead. And Young will pick up nice tackle out there by number 22, stepped into the gap. That's Zasueta. So he's kind of all over the place. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Give him 2. On the 42-yard line, and an incomplete pass.
Oh, we were lucky on that one. If he'd have caught it like a good receiver would try to do, we would have had a loss of 5 yards on that play.
Okay, so it was a fortuitous drop.
Yep.
Okay, incomplete pass. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. Ball still at the Calexico 42-yard line. And Gutierrez is your quarterback with 4:58 to go and leading 7-0. He fakes, now throws over the middle, and there's Platt. And I'll tell you one thing about, now the football's loose, but I think Brawley has it. We'll see what happens. The pass is complete to Platt. And now they're going to see who's on the bottom of the pile with the football. Platt took no, that's number 4, Brian Portis. And Portis appears to have kept it. He took a good lick, Don.
Yeah, number 19 was right there on the fighting for that ball and gave a lick. And the ball popped slightly, but I'm glad he was quick enough to respond and recover the fumble.
Pass play is good for 13 yards, and the Wildcats now with a first down right about at the 29-yard line. Gutierrez now has trips to the right, one receiver to the left, fakes to Isaiah, and it's Robert Platt who puts his shoulder into a would-be tackler. I like that. Quick little, I've been asking, where's the tight end pop? And there it is, Don, for all you watching at home. That is the tight end pop. You just go over the middle, and it's called the tight end pop because when you catch it over the middle, you're going to get popped.
That's right. That's what Gronk likes, the tight end pop.
That's right. He is not afraid to go across. And right now the Wildcats are now on the 14-yard line with a 1st and 10. And now Gutierrez pulls it back and is heading for the end zone. It is going to just be short.
3-yard line.
So 13 is going to pick up 11 yards and give Brawley a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line as the Wildcats continue to move the football. That pass play, by the way, that tight end pop was worth 15 yards. So on the drive, which started on the Calexico 44, Gutierrez is 2 for 3 for 28 yards. Not bad. Moving the ball around, keeping it loose. Here come the Wildcats. 1st and goal from the 3. And Isaiah Young gets into the end zone.
Design slant. Everybody expected him to go up the middle or between the center and the guard, and he just slid off, and where he finally came out on that slant was on the outside of the offensive end. That was a perfectly designed play for that score.
Touchdown Brawley, and it comes with 3:09 to go here in the first quarter. And Hodero misses the extra point. So a look at the scoreboard now is Brawley 13 and the Calexico Bulldogs nothing. And we will be back.
A&R Construction, serving the Imperial Valley since 1988. 1631 River Drive in Brawley, 760-344-4653. They are the proud sponsors of the Brawley Wildcat broadcast from the Desert Review. Tonight's Brawley Wildcat football is sponsored in part by the fine folks at Fry Chapel and Mortuary Crematory, always providing the service and care needed for a peaceful, eternal rest. Located at 799 South Brawley Avenue in Brawley. Phone 760-412-5537. Go Brawley Wildcats from Fry's Chapel and Mortuary Crematory in Brawley.
Welcome back to Warne Field. Tom Ronco, Coach Don Biaggi, and the Wildcats are up 13-0, and another fair catch, and this time at the 25-yard line. So, again by number 9 for Calexico, and it will be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from their own 25-yard line. Don, a nice drive, kind of a nice blend of different plays, don't you think?
Absolutely. What is interesting about this is the touchdown that was given to Brawley High School was off. The first one was off a fumble on the kickoff. The second one was off a bad 9-yard punt. So we'll see what Calexico has in store now.
Okay, Calexico has a man in motion and a slot, and they're going to give to the man in motion, and he is not going to get very far at all. That was number 19,
Charlie Lai made the tackle, number 21.
Okay, good for Charlie. Number 19 was a ball carrier, and he loses 5 yards, -5 over there. And the quarterback is now number 1, David Esquer. And he is basically a passer. He was the quarterback in the short mini season when Fernando Solano first took over as coach at Calexico last March. And tough, not very big, but tough. Okay, Manny Pacquiao punches above his weight class. He's in there to pass, and now he's going to get picked off. And this may be a touchdown for the Brawley Wildcats, but no, he's out of bounds. On a 1st and 15 from the Calexico 20, it is intercepted by number 25 for the Brawley High Wildcats. And I'm trying to figure out who 25. That is Matthew Moreno, the freshman, and he almost took it to the house. Number 25 with the interception, and he returns it from about the 30 to the what yard line, Don? The 3?
The 2.
Okay, the 2. 28-yard return. 1st and goal, Wildcats from the 2, and we'll see what happens. And it's an inside give to Isaiah Young, and just like that, we have another touchdown. And that took all of less than a minute, I believe. Yes, 3:09 we scored. Now we score again, and this time it is at 2:16. So all of that transpired in less than 1 minute. And we'll see that Hotero gets back out and see what he can do. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. A look at the scoreboard. Brawley 20, Calexico 0. And just like that, Don and I will be back.
Exciting Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by the Desert RV, locally owned and operated by Joel Gonzalez. Joel and his crew offer RV storage and service, and now offer 52 Main Street in Brawley, or call them at 760-344-9200. Desert RV, a proud sponsor of Brawley Wildcat football.
Okay, Brawley's set to kick off again, and up 20-0. Still 2:16 to play here in the first quarter. And the game's all been played right before us, Don. We are on the the east side of the field, and that's where it's been. And another pooch kick by Haro, and another fair catch out there.
By number 7.
By number 7.
And that's 1st and 10 on the 25-yard line of Calexico.
Okay, well, let's see what the Bulldogs can do. Calexico football, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And Hotter's at least getting that to the 25. And Calexico a little gun-shy about even trying to return that, Don.
No, I don't think they're even going to make an attempt on it.
Okay, Esquerra stays in at quarterback despite the pick. He was picked off out there by number 25, Matthew Moreno. And now he tries to run a little bit, but that doesn't get very far. Down the bottom of the pile for the Wildcats was number 17, Platt. Also next to him, number 37 for the Brawley Wildcats. And that is Brody Van Diver, who is back in the lineup. We've been missing him, Coach Don Biaggi, and you can see quite the agile guy.
Absolutely.
All right, that's
a really quick blowing by Calexico in there.
Okay, so it's 2nd and 12 at the Calexico 23.
Tackle number 32. made the tackle.
Okay, who was the ball carrier? I missed that. Okay, well, maybe I can catch it over here. It's going to be a pickup of about 2 yards, so they get the 2 back.
22's back in at quarterback. Number 26 is the running back behind the quarterback.
Okay, so we'll give it to 26. This is going to bring up a 3rd and 10 now, back at the original line of scrimmage. And 22 is back to pass. That's Zasweta. And Zasweta can't find anybody, and he's going to go down in a clump. Is that a nice way to say it?
Yeah, 17 and 37.
17.
And 21.
Yep, 37. Brody Van Diver, 27. Was it 27? No.
37.
37 is Brody Van Diver. 17 is Platt. And 21, Charlie Lai, I believe. If Charlie's in there. Here we go. This is going to be 4th down now. 22 is going to lose 5 on that. 4th and 16. And we're going to have a punt. But before we do, it's going to be the end of the first quarter. So we'll come back with Brawley leading by a score of 20-0. And we'll have a few messages, and we'll be back with more exciting Brawley High Wildcat football.
This portion of Wildcat Football is brought to you by Kickoff Parker Insurance Brokers, located at 350 G Street in Brawley. Stop by and talk with Jeff or Holly, or give them a call at 760-344-0600. That's Kickoff Parker Insurance Brokers. Go Wildcats from Kickoff Parker Insurance. This portion of Brawley High Wildcat Football is brought to you by the Man Company, where you will find a complete line of quality Shell lubricants, motor oils, grease, and gear oils. You'll find the quality and the service you need at the Man Company in Brawley, located at 1313 Main Street. Go Wildcats from the Man Company. This portion of Wildcat Football is brought to you by Ojeda Industries, located on the corner of Best Road and Jones, across from the airport in Brawley. Ojeda Industries has heavy-duty hubs, spindles, and trailer parts, as well as American roller chain and sorts of bearings. You know Tony and Travis Ojeda? Stop by and see them at Ojeda Industries, located at the corner of Best Road and Jones, across from the airport in Brawley.
Okay, welcome back to exciting Brawley High Wildcat football. Tom Ronco with Coach Don Biaggi. And the Wildcats open the second quarter receiving a punt, leading by a score of 20-0. This will be probably Brawley's worst field position, Coach Biaggi. No, I think they started at the 44. Okay, this is getting close to it. So for Brawley, with 11:56 to go, they will have a 1st and 10 at the Calexico 42-yard line. So, again, when you can play on one half of the field and it's the other teams, things go well, Coach.
Absolutely. You know, it's a good thing the quarter ended, because they had a muff center. It bounced back to the kicker, and he had 2 Brawley guys there ready to pounce him.
Okay, so things work out sometimes. Ball's pipped up in the air, and Ethan Gutierrez has his tip blocked up, his pass, and then he waits for it to come down and makes kind of a nice catch. I mean, you can't complain about that catch.
Great reception for an 8.
So how do you score that? Is that a sack, or what do you? I guess it's you can't pass to yourself. That's not legal in football. So we're just going to say it's number 13, and he's racked up some negative yardage, 5, 10, about 14 yards. And it's going to be 2nd now and 24. And Brawley, for the first time, is in their own territory at the 46-yard line. Gutierrez back to pass. He's going to throw. He has a man wide open, and he hits him in stride. That's Malik Washington. Touchdown, Brawley Wildcats. Holy Toledo. He just got behind him, Don Biaggi, and did not look back.
You betcha. That was a beautiful laid out pass with the receiver just continuing running down the field, knew it would be there.
And right in his arms. You got to give Ethan some credit on that one. He laid it, as you said, right in there. Wow. Here comes Haro. Already missed one. 3 for 4. Not a bad day if you're a batter. And now he is 4 for 5 as he knocks it through. And just like that, the Brawley High Wildcats extend their lead to 27-0 with 11:04 here to play in the second quarter. And Don and I will be back.
One World Beef Packers in Brawley, supporting commerce in the Imperial Valley with over 650 jobs and counting. This portion of Wildcat Football is brought to you by Kickoff Parker Insurance Brokers, located at 350 G Street in Brawley. Stop by and talk with Jeff or Holly, or give them a call at 760-344-0600. That's Kickoff Parker Insurance Brokers. Go! New this season at thedesertreview.com, it's the weekly Pick'em Challenge called Beat the Week. Go to thedesertreview.com and click on the contest app to sign up. Play for free with friends and family and compete to win weekly prizes. That's the weekly Pick'em contest, Beat the Week, only at thedesertreview.com.
Welcome back to Warne Field. I keep saying that, and Coach Don Biaggi and I keep coming back. Tom Ronco, and this time Haro's kickoff goes out of bounds, so it's automatically going to go to the 35-yard line. And Calexico will start 1st and 10 from their own 35. And so far, everything's working for the Wildcats, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Brawley. It's interesting because Brawley made an error by getting the pass blocked, and they kept it from being intercepted, but lost about 14 yards on it, so it was like 1st and 24, and then come back and lay out a beautiful pass and score, where Calexico has had the opposite happen to them on their errors. Brawley had ended up with touchdowns off of them.
Okay, I'm not sure why they're moving it to the 40, and they're trying to explain to Coach John Self. And okay, so we're going to say 1st and 10 from the 40. I'm not sure what that's all about, but we'll take it. Everything moves, so we're good. Here's Sweta, gives a handoff up the middle, and we'll see who's at the bottom of the pile. That's number 21.
67-31 on the tackles.
Bernie Bustamante is number 67, and 21 is...
31.
Okay, excuse me. 31 is Chris Camilo. So coming up from the secondary. Quarterback remains Siswet.
Podcast of the Brawley Union High School football game is sponsored in part by Dr. Donald Bernitz of Vision Care Center. Located at 260 Main Street in Brawley, Dr. Bernitz provided adult and children's vision care treatment of eye diseases and contact lenses. Phone 760-351-2020. Go Brawley Wildcats and Dr. Bernitz of Vision Care Center.
Okay, back.
Brawley's in a 4-man defensive front.
Okay, first time tonight we have seen that. And the Wildcats are, nice little move outside out there. Number 21 runs into his own man, then comes back across the field, breaks the tackle. There's a nice block to spring him out. He's going to cut back inside, but the Wildcats eventually catch up to him. But a nice zigzag run.
Well ran since he was tied up and going to be tackled 3 times. And then there was a great block by Calexico down about the 30-yard line, and he broke free, and then it allowed, as he made another cut, Brawley's 3 tacklers to come up and stop him about the 16-yard line of Brawley.
First and 10 for Calexico at the Brawley 16. And now the ball's up in the air, and we're going to see who got it. I believe that number 22 Zasweta cannot handle it. And number 30 comes up with it for the Calexico Bulldogs. And that is Zeus Paradis. a junior, 5'9", 175 pounds, makes the recovery.
About 17-yard loss on that play.
Nice 41-yard run, and then suddenly a bad snap. And suddenly it's a 17-yard loss, you said, Don?
Yes.
Minus.
Pass play over the center to number 3.
Okay,
He's
so
met quickly by number 17 and number 25.
So 22 is Zazueta connects with Andres Ramirez, but on a second and I think it was like 28. Second and 28. They get plus 3 yards on that.
Jay Platt and
it's going to bring up
Matt Moreno were in on a tackle.
Okay, it's going to bring up third and let's call it 25 for the sake of argument at the Brawley. And Zazueta back to pass.
Pass play way down deep.
He's going deep.
End zone.
And it's two Brawley Wildcats end up fighting over it in the end zone. That's number 6 for the Wildcats, Daniel Camilo, and number 12, Aiden Torres, the two safeties for the Wildcats. And now with fourth down, it's going to be an incomplete pass by Zazueta. And it's going to bring up a fourth down. And again, still about 25 to go. Calexico needs to get to the 8-yard line or 7-yard line for a first down. And we will see what happens. Back to pass is Zazueta. He's got a pretty good arm, throws it up. And it's it's incomplete. Knocked away out there by number 2 for the Brawley High Wildcats, and that is Damian Abarca. You may recall the season started with a lot of Damian Abarca, and then Damian took a sabbatical, as it were, and Damian's back. They knew he would be back in time for the Bell game. That's the first significant action he has seen, Coach Don Biaggi. And I'll tell you what, he returns punts. He's going to end up doing a lot of things, but missed about 7 games, and it hurt the Wildcats.
Absolutely. He had great position. It was a great throw, and it allowed the Calexico to go get it, but Brawley was better.
1st and 10 now for Brawley, and they give it to Isaiah, and Isaiah, like he is shot out of the cannon from his 30-yard line, just takes off.
33-yard rumble by Isaiah.
And that'll be good for 37, you said? Is that a plus 37? Or 20?
30.
Okay, he was at the 30.
33-yard line then. He's at the 30.
He's at the 30, so 20, 30, 33 yards.
Yep.
Nice. And suddenly right back in Calexico territory are the Wildcats.
You could have brought a B-52 through the hole that Brawley put on that play.
Okay, 7:23 to go. Brawley leading 27-0. Here's Ethan Gutierrez, and he's now going to throw, and he throws it out of bounds. Nice, good composure, being chased by 2 or 3 of the Bulldogs. And Don, nobody open, so he just rolled out, nowhere to run, throw it away. I like that.
That's one of his moves that he has when he has to roll, when he rolls out and he's going to throw. If he gets to that sideline, he usually is squaring up his shoulders to put it right down that sideline to his receiver.
Okay, so the Brawley Wildcats look like they wanted a timeout. They may need to take one. 7:14 to go. They're leading by a score of 27-0, so no reason to be saving timeouts at this point in time. Okay, your running back is Tanner Carranza. You've got trips to your right, and down the bottom of your screen is Washington. And a throw over the middle, and just overthrowing number 4. That's Brandon Porras. And that time, Gutierrez missed.
Yeah, he put a rocket ship on that one, and he could have used a little bit of loft on it, and it had been perfect because there was nobody around him, and he had plenty of room to make that catch. So it's just another learning situation. He'll adjust.
Playing an excellent ball game is our junior quarterback, Ethan Gutierrez. And
Brawley's playing a lot of players tonight in this game. There's a lot of people getting some very good experience.
Okay, we got 2 weeks off, and we'll be back a week from Friday. That's number 23, Isaiah Young. So we go back to packing the mail with Young. He is going to pick up about 7, and that's going to bring down a 4th and 3, and I don't know they're going to try with Haro or what's going on. The ball now sitting squarely on the Calexico 30-yard line, and the Wildcats are going to go for the first down. Leading 27-0. They have no receivers to the right, trips to the left. Lone back is Young. And here it goes, and they're going to give it to Young, and he just bulls his way, tries to run away. They hold him by his jersey, but he is down inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats.
Yeah, Isaiah has found his rhythm of an off tackle, and he's slanting down there, and he just leaning on that slant, and they don't have a good angle on him, and he's powerful enough to keep it going. Straight ahead is a little bit more difficult.
13 on that. Speaking of 13,
Touchdown.
He guns a pass into the end zone over the shoulder of number 4, Brian Portis, and we have a touchdown. 17-yard strike by the Brawley High Wildcats. And the Wildcats just clicking on all 8 cylinders tonight, Donald.
You betcha. And they're doing it with multiple young men who are rotating in back and forth with some of the first stringers that are playing, and it's like they're not missing a beat.
A look at the scoreboard. Brawley 34, Calexico nothing. We'll be back.
Whether you're buying, selling, or renting a home, or for all your agricultural real estate needs, call on the Dom team, your experienced hometown agents who have served the Imperial Valley since 2002. Let the Dom team make your next real estate transaction more successful and enjoyable. Give Doug or Andrew a call at 760-427-6741. The Dom team, proud supporters of Wildcat football.
Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate Agency is a proud sponsor of Wildcat football and has been serving the Valley's real estate and insurance needs since 1930. Stop by their office at 510 West Main Street in Brawley. Go Wildcats from Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate Agency. Okay, back at Warne Field. And the Wildcats kind of turning it on a little bit against the Calexico Bulldogs. And Hotter's going to try his kick again. And I don't know that you can do that. Yeah, you got to tackle him. Okay, you cannot signal for a fair catch after you catch it. And they're trying to explain that to poor number 17. So a little bit of confusion back there. That's the first time I've seen that one. I will tell you that.
Oh,
a catch and a signal. That's the first, Coach.
Brawley gave him the benefit of the doubt until he put his hand up, and that was the end of it. He was down.
Yeah. I mean, nobody knew what to do. As you're running down the field, you don't want to get a penalty, so you think, what can we do? Esquire back in at quarterback, and he's going to give it this time to, I believe that's 21. And 21 dances around on a 1st and 10 from the Calexico 28. And 21 is going to pick up 2 yards.
That's the play that they just ran in their previous series that went all the way down to the Brawley approximately 10-yard line. That was that great run that he had.
Plus 41 yards on that for number 21. That's Ernie Sanchez, 5'9", 176-pound running back senior. Okay, now they put a man in motion. He doesn't look like he wants to go in motion, but he does. And kind of a confusing play, ball thrown up for grabs and eventually out of bounds. Nice defense out there by Daniel Camilo Jr. Also, Aiden Torres, the free safety, coming over to help out. But I think they're going to get motion on that. And the question is, the Wildcats are not going to accept it. They will take the incomplete pass. So they'll just be satisfied with the incompleted pass, which also stops the clock with 5:22 to go. And Brawley leading by a score of 34-0, Don. And we, Coach Biaggi, and we still have about 5 minutes left to play.
I know it's what they call a very long night right now for Calexico.
The Bulldogs decide they need to talk this one over. And we will be back.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, Brad, I can help with coverages. Man-to-man coverage, zone coverage, combo coverage.
I don't know, Peyton. I was thinking the types of coverages that your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, like home, auto, business, life, farm, boat, your tour bus.
Products availability varies by state, agent, and other factors. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company, Columbus, Ohio.
For all your many sides, there's Nationwide. Call Hart Insurance Center, 898 Main Street, Brawley, or in the Prince Plaza, 1503 North Imperial Avenue, El Centro. Since 1945, we have a heart for personal service.
Okay, back to live action. Tom Ronco, Coach Don Biaggi coming at you from Warne Field in Brawley, where the Wildcats have amassed a 34-0 lead, and Calexico is now facing a 3rd and 8 from their own 30-yard line. Put a man in motion, pretty good-looking guy. Got a new quarterback, that's a scare, and he throws out in the flat to the wingback. And nice throw and catch, Coach.
Absolutely. Looked like it's a first down. Looked like it was a 10-yard pickup on the pass and throw. Well executed.
Okay, now on the receiving end of that was Zeus Pardis. Junior, 5'9", 175 pounds. He looks a little bigger than that to me.
Yeah.
I think they're sandbagging that one. 1st and 10 for Calexico. They are now out to their 41-yard line. And they're going to try to run it outside. A little bit of trickery
Brought
there.
Down by Tanner and number 24 for Brawley. Tanner Carranza, number 24.
24 is Gilbert. We can't call him Tweety Corrales. And it's going to be a -3 on that one. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 13. The ball now back at the Calexico 38-yard line. And again, a little bit of a cumbia, Don. They get 1 step forward and then 2 steps back. 4:11 to go. Brawley up 34-0. And it's going to be a give up the middle to 21, and he's just met by a plethora of Wildcats. Number 67. Yep, Bernie Bustamante.
Bustamante, yes.
And Bernie did not get low, but he didn't have to. The guy couldn't get away from him, just gave him a big old bear hug.
That's a takedown.
That is a takedown indeed. Number 21, and he is going to get nothing.
Third down and 12.
Okay, 3rd and 12. The Calexico 39, it looks like. So we'll give him +1 on that bear hug. They gave him some forward progress, which I didn't see, but that's why I'm not down there and I'm up here. Clock running, 3:15 to go to halftime. Billy Brewer will be up. We're going to talk about Bell Game, tickets and all kind of things. So don't miss halftime. And a nice spin move out there by number 30. but he gets kind of gang tackled. And again, Brawley not getting necessarily low. 37, Brody Van Diver. 17, Robert Platt. 32 out there for the Brawley High Wildcats. That's Chris Camilo. Pretty much everybody in on that.
Anthony Araga, number 74, made the first contact and stopped all his motion, and his friends then came and put him away.
Okay, -3. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 16. And Calexico's going to punt. Brawley will get it back with about 2 minutes and change left. And a quick kick, and again a short kick. And this one gets a roll. So Calexico punter didn't kick it far, but he kicked it farther and got a roll. That thing went about 10 yards in the air and about 20 yards on the ground. And it'll be 1st and 10 Brawley from their own 36-yard line. And Don, the ground getting a little hard out there, right?
Absolutely.
This time of year?
Well, yeah, it will. It dries up during the heat, and then it's a little bit thinner, the grass is, than I've seen it before. So that ball hitting that ground is like sometimes cement.
Well, I believe with 2 weeks off in the Bell game, which means there won't be a game at Warne Field for 3 weeks, I believe they're cutting it to reseed it. So I would say it's pretty fast out there right now. 2:16 to go. And let's see what the Wildcats can do. Gutierrez has doubles, slots and wides right to left. He's looking out there. Now his help moves up. Throws it down the middle to Platt, and Platt's trying to break loose, is still on his feet, and Platt's going to get all the way down to the Calexico 34-yard line. Nice catch and throw and catch and run by Robert Platt, and Brawley now has a 1st and 10 at the Calexico 35-yard line, and quickly up to the line of scrimmage are the Wildcats. Again, now they have trips to the left, lone receiver to the right, keep Isaiah back to block, and here goes Gutierrez. And he's running out, he's at the 30, the 25, the 20, and goes out of bounds to stop the clock. So he's going to pick up another 1st down all the way down to the Calexico 20, or thereabouts.
15 yards on that.
Yeah, pick up a 15 after a throw of 29 yards play between Platt and Gutierrez. All right.
The defense picked up the receivers pretty well, and he had a wide open alley to run anywhere he wanted to, and did an excellent job seeing that.
Same formation, 1 back to block, no tight end. 3 in the pattern on the right, 1 Malik Washington on the left, and they blitz Gutierrez. Not a good idea, as he's now got room to run, and instead of going in, and he, oh my goodness. I do not believe I saw that. Ethan Gutierrez is running, and he's holding the ball like a loaf of bread, and it gets knocked out of his hands on about the 8-yard line, rolls into the end zone, and he jumps on it for the touchdown. Don, when you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah, he when he was running, his hand, as his leg came through when he was running and made his cut, his hand hit his leg, knocked the ball out, and rolled, and he just beat the Calexico defender from landing on it and got himself a TD.
I'll bet you he was thinking, if I don't get this back, coach is going to kill me, and he was right. Here's Jorge Hotero, steps into it. It is up, and it is good. So Jorge is now 6 for 7, and Brawley leads by a score of 41-0, and we will be back.
Tonight's Brawley Wildcat football is sponsored in part by the fine folks at Fry Chapel and Mortuary Crematory, always providing the service and care needed for a peaceful, eternal rest. Located at 799 South Brawley Avenue in Brawley. Phone 760-412-5537. Go Brawley Wildcats from Fry's Chapel and Mortuary Crematory in Brawley. Wildcat football is brought to you by Johnny's Burritos, locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. Johnny's with a full menu of your favorite Mexican and American food and the best burritos in town. That's Johnny's Burritos. Go Wildcats! From Johnny's Burritos in Brawley.
Welcome back to Warne Field. Tom Ronco, Coach Don Biaggi, and the Desert Review crew, Kayla and Laura. And here we go. And now they return it. And they're going to say that his knee went down. And so they're going to bring it back. A nice return out there. I believe that was number 30, wasn't it, Don?
I believe so.
And he returns it, although for all the hoopla, he is way short of where they've been starting. Oh, 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, trailing 41-0 from the Calexico 28-yard line with a $1:29 to go here in the first half. In motion is 19. The give is going to be to 21, and he gets loose, and somebody's got to track him down. Tanner Carranza finally gets over and gets him. But that time, and now a late flag. I don't know what that's all about. We'll see. But a nice run out there by number 21 again, Don. Oh, yeah, you're hot.
He gets a very nice vision of the field. And when he gets going and he sees the cutback, he takes it immediately, and Brawley's over pursuing at the time, and he has that wide open field. Tanner just put on the jets and ran him down from across the 40-yard line to where he made the tackle. Now I didn't see what the penalty was. Unnecessary roughness, I don't know, but they got a penalty down to looks like the 13-yard line of Brawley. Okay, so it's going to be the Brawley 13. And the run was to the 25, and Calexico now trailing 41-0, kind of trying to get back into this. Esquer is back to pass. He has a man open, and it's a touchdown. Wow, just like that. He beats number 2, Damian Abarca. And which young man caught that? That was number 3? Yep, I believe that was number 3. That's who we're going to give it to. So 1-3, and that's going to be good for 13 yards and a Calexico touchdown. So just like that, and in for the extra point. And let's see what number Esquer is a holder. The kicker is number 99, and the kick is up, and it is good. So doesn't take very long. We got 1:12, and in a matter of seconds, Calexico answers at least the last Brawley score. And a look at the scoreboard is Brawley 41, Calexico 7, and we will be back. Well, the next one up in the queue is Brownies and the Town Pump, and I believe this thing might be right. Let's see.
Brownie's Diner in Brawley and the Town Pump Restaurant in Westmoreland are proud sponsors of Wildcat football. Brownie's is open daily from 5 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving delicious American and Mexican food, while the Town Pump serves the best steaks and seafood in the North End from 4:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Go Wildcats from Brownie's and the Town Pump.
Welcome back to Warne Field, and that Brownies thing, I've been playing it for all of the spring season when it was inaccurate, and most of this season when it's been inaccurate. Now it's accurate. Gabe Revelar and Juanita have reopened the Town Pump in Westmoreland. So get on out there and get the steaks in the ambiance you are used to. 1:12 to go here to halftime, and Calexico is going to kick off for the first time in the ball game. Deep for the Wildcats. I wonder if Abarca's back there. Let's see. As Portis and Camilo muffs the football, and the Wildcats are just going to cover it up. So maybe you're getting a little lackadaisical here, Coach, with some of this. Number 31 jumps on it, and that is Chris Camilo kind of helping his brother out. And suddenly Brawley better snap back into it.
Yeah, when you get a kind of a lead that you have, you think that you can outthink what they're going to do. But you got to remember, Calexico's got some good players just like you do. And if you make the error, and Mexico made 3 errors tonight and cost them 20 points. Right now, Brawley's made 3 errors, and luckily they haven't cost them any points.
Okay, yeah, the inability to tackle cost them the last touchdown. 1:09 to go, and Brawley will have a 1st and 10 in their worst field position of the night, which is at the 9-yard line. And back to pass is Gutierrez. He throws a little swing pass out to Isaiah Young, and Young is going to get out past the 10. And now 21 kind of gets into a tussle with Brandon Portis. I keep calling him Brian. His name is Brandon. And let's see if they get the action or the reaction. And, Coach, when you teach players, we always tell them that they're not going to call the action, but the reaction. So let's see how this one ends up. Pass, meanwhile, was complete to 13-23. And that's going to be for a plus. It's a loose ball foul, a after the pass foul.
It was on number 6 of Calexico because he pulled the Brawley player off.
Okay, so the play itself was only +3. And then now the Wildcats will get the unsportsmanlike
penalty.
The penalty plus 15 yards. So now suddenly it's 1st and 10.
26.
At the 26. Okay, Billy Brewer up to talk about the bell game at halftime, and we are 53 seconds away from that. Back to passes Gutierrez. He's going to loft one up. He has a man out there. Nice throw, but just a little bit behind him. Daniel Camilo Jr. was out there. Nice play. And staying with him stride for stride was number 8.
That was about a 45, 47-yard pass in the air.
And way to kind of stretch it out, defense number 8, and that'll be an incompletion. But going for it all, and that's Ishmael Burgess, 5'9", 160-pound junior. And now they're getting the players. I guess there was some skirmishing going on, Don?
Yeah, there was 2 to 3 Brawley and Calexico guys pushing each other around, etc. And they got in there real quick, the officials did, and stopped the action. Now they had a discussion. Says, let's play football, guys. Let's let this stuff go.
For the second time, we are playing on an odd night, and we only have a 4-man. Oh, no, there's a 5-man crew. Okay. I was going to say, that's the whole point. So Brawley maybe with some newer-looking people in there. Maybe not. Looks like the line is still intact. Anthony Arriaga. Your center is number 55. That is Julius Diaz is in there. The center is Portis. And back to pass is Gutierrez. And he's got Camilo, but Camilo's got nowhere to go and gets brought down from behind.
There's a flag down. 2 flags are down.
Yeah, when you start running around like that, your defenders don't know which way you're going, and the defender, so you're facing the guy that's looking at the ball, Don, and you're trying to anticipate where he's going, right? So if he turns on you when you step forward, you can get called for that.
Right. The blockers have to just take and be be in line with the defender to shadow him. You can't try to get your hands and block on him, because that's when you get these penalties called. The runner has got to run off of the block you're giving and setting up for him. So there's times you make contact and knock the guy down, and then there's other times you just gotta shadow and let the back do his job.
Okay, offsetting penalties, and we'll replay second down. And here goes Gutierrez, and he's going to have a first down, but he's chewing up clock, 38 seconds, so it's going to be a first down out to the 39. And that's going to be number 13, picking up 13 yards.
Illegal motion by Brawley, 5-yard penalty on 17.
Okay, Brawley trying to get in a hurry up, and this is something they've got to practice, and that's not how you want to practice it. All right, clock gets wound up, 31 seconds and going down. Brawley leading 41-7, and here's Gutierrez dancing around, and he gets beat up pretty good, but he's going to pick up a few yards. It's going to bring up second, and clock is running. This is probably the last play. 2nd and 6. A pitch outside, and here goes Daniel Camilo Jr., and he's going to be out of bounds.
5.8 seconds.
And he's out of bounds with 5.8 seconds, but there's a flag, I believe, and it's going to be a hold on Brawley. So hold on, this is all kind of coming back. So the penalty flag is going to convolute everything. Halftime coming up. Brawley should be ahead 41-7 going into halftime, but stranger things have happened, and they're going to just let the clock run out. So we are at halftime. A look at the scoreboard. Brawley 41, Calexico 7. And we're going to have Billy Brewer join us in a moment. Like to remind you, let's get a nice rundown on our sponsors. As he will move in and take over the headsets from Coach Don Biaggi, and we will talk a little football. The Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting, bringing you exciting 2021 Brawley High Wildcat football. Brought to you by our fine sponsors, Barnitsky, Dr. Barnitsky and Vision Care Center, One World Beef Packers, Desert RV, A&R Construction Company, The Man Company, Fry Chapel and Mortuary, Brent Beef, Ojeda Industries, Hart Insurance Centers in Brawley and El Centro, Johnny's Burritos in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro, Brownies in Brawley and the Town Pump in Westmoreland, Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate on Main Street, Clayton Drain Tile Maintenance, Lidco and our friend Carter Taylor, the Dom Team for Real Estate, OK Rubber Tire, Clicka Parker Insurance, and Jordan Central Implements in Brawley, El Centro, and Imperial. And putting on the headset and joining me, I love our band, but I don't love that they're sitting right below me. And Billy Brewer.
I hear you, Coach. It's not easy to hear.
So bring your mic in nice and tight, and we will talk over the band as best we can. Joining me, Billy Brewer. And so far, Coach, you got to be kind of happy with the Wildcats.
Yes, they definitely turned up the intensity compared to last week. So no question, they came out to get the job done fast.
Looks like they lost a little intensity there near the end of the first half.
They were 7 a few kids, but yes, definitely that touchdown shouldn't have happened. We can't do stuff like that, and that kick where we had to fall on it, those are things that can't happen in the Bell game.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the Bell game. 2 weeks from tomorrow night, we have the bye week, and then we will, and we need it to heal and rest up. And again, I know you did the best you could in terms of the schedule, And but it just, given our record, our status, travel, COVID, everything that's been going on, I mean, nobody in the world steps up to volunteer to go to Mater Dei unless, the choices are that or not play. So, I want to give you some props on, making chicken salad out of chicken droppings, if we might put it that way. But that's a good Imperial line for former, anyway. And tell us about the Bell game. What do you know? I know you don't know everything you'd like to know.
Correct.
But what's it shaping up to be?
Well, let me tell you first on the Mater Dei coaches. They didn't have a game that week, and they couldn't find. Nobody was going to play them. And we had Escondido High School drop us. And we needed a game, bottom line. And but I will tell you, we don't usually like to play a bye week 9 right before Central. We just don't. We like kids to be ready to go. But yes, it's coming at a time. We have kids that have been beat up since game number 1, and you know that.
Yes.
And Isaiah Young still. There's a bunch of kids that are still banged up, but they're getting healthier, and hopefully next week we can get on the ball. So, going back to the Bell game, we hope to have tickets from Central High School by Tuesday, no later than Wednesday next week. We're going to put it all out early next week all over the internet at the school. They can go to the Brawley Union, brawleyhigh.org website, and we'll have that information on there. But we'll have it everywhere where you can pick them up, prices. We will be selling them out of the Palmer Auditorium ticket booth, Coach. And it's easy to park. You don't have to walk on campus. We have certain rules with COVID and everything with people staying apart, as you know how it is. So it'll be an easy setup and for you to pick up tickets.
Okay. All right. So tickets normally priced what for the Bell game, just so people
It's a regular league price, $7 for a regular seat, and I think they're selling them from $20 to $25 for reserve seats. So it just depends where you're at.
But there are no reserve seats on the Brawley side that we know of, or are
yes,
there?
They will be.
Okay.
Yes, they do sell them on both sides.
Okay. Well, we hope to be broadcasting from the Brawley side, so
we'll have that all set up before that, Coach. They know that's coming.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to be for the first time ever on the Brawley side at the Bell game. It's just getting too crazy in the central booth, and Cal Jones Field, as nice as it is, and I like it because you're close to the action and everything else. On the other hand, it's press box nowhere near the palatial setting we have here, so that will be that. Okay, COVID, everybody's going to be expected to be masked up.
No. You're outdoors. When you're outdoors,
okay.
you're not expected to be masked out. Now, of course, you can do that, right? But it's not mandated. Key word there.
Okay. And all right, so that's good to know. Will they be opening as a couple of the last few years opening by really 5 o'clock, I think, right?
They usually go 5 o'clock. And remember, Coach, what's so big about that game and what Miss Sandy Nugent, the AD prior to Mr. Wise right now, is the fact that they sold only pre-sale tickets. They don't sell at the gate. So you have to get your tickets. We'll get about 1,700 to 1,750 tickets. And it's usually somewhere around 5,500 people. I think they sell out because of the fire marshal and various things with gates, and you know how this all goes. So it's pre-sale tickets, so you have to come down and buy a ticket. Don't wait to the gate because it won't happen.
So if you show up, you're not getting in either side.
Correct.
That's basically what we're telling you, and that's good information to get out there. I'm sure that'll be out on the websites. I know you have quite a Brawley somehow has some kind of a following out on Facebook. I don't believe it's a high school one, but Brawley football has a very informative Facebook website, so you could be out there looking at that. And we have the American Youth Football coming out, I believe, if you are looking down at the field. And that is if you haven't been with us, we've talked about it 2 weeks in a row with Donnell Washington and with Ryan Rubio. This is the new way to do youth football. Glenn Pop Warner football, Stanford football coach. Nobody knows his name's Glenn, but that's okay. Unless you've been there, they have a nice little thing there. And very influential in early college football and in youth sports in general, and especially in the San Francisco Bay Area. And he just kind of started Pop Warner, which at the time strove to kind of limit that you couldn't be bigger than anything. And here comes the little guys.
That's funny.
You got to love them. Those are your future Wildcats.
Yeah, I'll be retired by that time.
I hope to live. I would say I don't know that Coach D and I, Coach B and I are going to live to see those guys suit up for the Wildcats, but that's all right. But it's cute, and it's shows you, where this starts. And you should be proud of your Wildcats. And here comes some more little guys, and they. So Pop Warner's whole point was to go by what we call exponents, your age, your weight, those two primarily. Usually your height's in there too, but it wasn't. Now American youth football just goes by your date, your year of birth, as does youth soccer, Little League, everything. If you're just a big old kid in Little League and you're crushing home runs, that's too bad for all the 12-year-olds that aren't shaving before the game, right? That's it.
Yes.
That's it. And Billy knows what we speak, right?
Yes.
And so a lot of players under Pop Warner were precluded from getting valuable experience because they were just too big. And now they get to play. So and of course probably your odds of getting hurt go up a little bit too. But that's it. If you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. So there you go. I'm looking down there at 55, for example, and he looks like he's running with his kids.
Looks like a kid. He could play right now on the freshman level.
Yeah, freshman. Yeah, self would go. Oh, can you block? I'll take you.
So they do a great job, Ryan Rebelar and his staff, and they do a great job for Brawley Youth Football, no question.
Yep, and they keep coming out, and they do, and they teach sportsmanship and everything else, and this is where it comes from, and these are all Brawley kids, and I will tell you one thing right now, and I'm going to go into detail, but Billy will verify that there's some poaching going on in the Valley in terms of players, but I don't believe we've ever had a player poached out of Brawley.
No.
I can't ever remember anybody. I mean, I remember kids crying because their parents were go. Okay.
Yes, that still happens.
Yeah, and they stay though. And Brawley parents tend to understand that, okay, I'm going to move. And for example, we had a few players that, ended up in Imperial and came up a few years ago and played with us back in the 2010, 11, 12 season. And that's what Brawley's about. That is exactly what Brawley is about. And so very proud to have them here. And again, Billy, you want to, the tickets will be available basically 8 to 4.
Yes, well, it'll be about 8:30, Coach. They come in at 8. They'll be about 8:30 till about 3:30 on those days, and it'll be a Monday through Thursday issue, but we'll have people out there all day selling tickets, and including the reserve tickets on the Brawley side.
Yeah, and you don't want to be near the school before 8:15 anyway.
No, absolutely not. You can't get a parking spot if you
Well, you're not going to get close. You're just going to get a little road rage, which is my way of life in NorCal.
Well, and remember, Coach, they're parking in front. Just tell them not to come down C Avenue because that's loaded. Don't get anywhere near Johnny's and the rest of it over there. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. So 480 North Imperial Avenue, the front of the Palmer Auditorium ticket booth.
Okay. And, again, $7 for adults, $5 for ASB and all that stuff?
Correct.
Okay. And, again, you need a ticket to get into the game.
Don't walk up to that gate. Don't walk up to that gate thinking you're going to get in because it won't happen over there.
Yeah, they will absolutely turn you away.
Now, we do it here, as you know. We do sell tickets all the way through. And
well, we bring in bleachers. You do a lot of things to accommodate a crowd.
Yes.
Okay, and that's the way it should be. But as you look out, Cal Jones does not have the perimeter that we have.
Correct.
Because we have a track, and thanks to many years of my friend and partner on the broadcast tonight, Coach Don Biaggi, cajoling. Is that a nice way to say it?
I think
the city, the school board, the city council, anybody and everybody, but the school.
Well, we all remember it used to be a grass track for many decades.
Yeah.
When I first came here, it was a grass track.
Yep, dirt. Yeah, and at least it was nice. It was a cinder stuff.
It was nice.
The best.
This is nicer, right?
But this is nicer. Okay.
It was very nice.
It was nice, but Central does not have this, so there's nowhere really to put. Well, if you're looking out and you know Warne Field, some of you may be here or I've gone to the game, listening to the rebroadcast. The area, there's lots of area in the end zones for portable bleachers in the city of Brawley. In the past, it used to be kind of a fire drill because they had to bring them in and get them right back out for cattle call. But now, with the season ending before Halloween, it's not a problem. And they bring them in, we drop them, and then we take them back out after the bell game. And
City Council is very good to us. They bought some brand new ones, about $35,000 each. They're electric. They go down, the steps go down, and we can put them in each end zone. So it really, really helps.
Oh, how nice of them. All right. Well, didn't know that they learn something every week. Okay, fall sports coming up here. When do if somebody's sitting at home and they've got a wrestler, basketball, soccer player?
November 6th. Everything kicks off November 6th, winter sports.
Wow, that's early.
Yes, 3 weeks from now. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh. So your break is about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it just goes right into it. They're already starting to get scheduled, Coach, so it is what it is. We're used to it.
You get to drive through McDonald's, get a drink, and come back, and now you're suddenly
and they're all waiting. They're all waiting.
Yeah, from fall to winter, just like that, right?
It's crazy.
Okay, and we will, and we were talking about the field. Now, they're going to reseed this now?
You see that little middle section. There was a dance out here, homecoming dance the other night. They couldn't get everybody in the gym, and they have to wear masks with the state mandate. Out here, they don't have to wear masks, so there was like 750 kids. As you can see, they all decided to dance on the 50-yard line. And so it didn't look a square the other day. Carlos Alcatar made it a square, but the whole field would look like that. If you can see in the end zones, you can see where it's been brought down. And starting Saturday, we're going to trim it all the way down, reseed it, and compost and the whole thing, and it'll hopefully be up by the playoffs.
Okay, yes, and the playoffs, we have 2 weeks, and then the bell game, and then another week. And right now, currently, we are ranked
8th, I think.
8th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if we can stay below 9, we get a home game.
The first 4 are home. Yes, Coach. Yes, if we could stay up there, we should get a home game.
Yeah,
we should be somewhere around number 7 before it's all said and done.
8 get a home game, and 9, 10, 11, 12 have to travel. And then it will be pretty much travel depending on the playoffs. But
we're hoping to hit that 7 mark.
Yeah. Okay. We will try to do that. Okie dokes. Well, if we're on the Brawley side at the bell game, we will hopefully be able to catch up with Tony Leon and congratulate him as we start the fall sports. But again, we'd like to thank Billy Brewer for coming up and talking with us, talking to us always, and just appreciate all that he does for us here at the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting, and for all the athletes at Brawley.
Well, I appreciate Mr. Ronco, and I appreciate you, Coach Biaggi. That's been a lot of years that we've all been together for many decades, many decades, and you guys accepted me way back in somewhere in the mid-'90s, and I appreciate that, and I've never forgotten that, just so you know. So I appreciate both of you and appreciate what you guys do week after week. Mr. Ronco, I don't think you've ever stopped in the time I've been here on any game, including away games, and not many people can say that with all due respect to everybody. So I appreciate you, and thank you to the Desert Review.
Okay, thank you, Billy. Okay, he's going to transition over to Don. We're going to give a couple of commercials, and while the Wildcats kind of warm up, the score, by the way, is 41-7. Sorry if you've been waiting for that. Here's the commercials.
Wildcat football is brought to you by Jordan Central Implements, with a large variety of agricultural and construction equipment, and where their helpful and knowledgeable staff will help you find the equipment or the part you're looking for. Jordan Central Implements, located at 1280 East Main Street in Brawley, and with locations in El Centro, Blythe, and Indian. Indio. Go Wildcats from Jordan Central Implements.
New this season at thedesertreview.com, it's the weekly Pick'em Challenge called Beat the Week. Go to thedesertreview.com and click on the contest app to sign up. Play for free with friends and family and compete to win weekly prizes. That's the weekly Pick'em contest, Beat the Week, only at thedesertreview.com.
Whether you're buying, selling, or renting a home, or for all your agricultural real estate needs, call on the DOM team, your experienced hometown agents who have served the Imperial Valley since 2002. Let the DOM team make your next real estate transaction more successful and enjoyable. Give Doug or Andrew a call at 760-427-6741. The DOM team, proud supporters of Wildcat football.
Tonight's Desert Review broadcast of the Brawley Union High School football game is sponsored in part by Dr. Donald Bernitz of Vision Care Center. Located at 260 Main Street in Brawley, Dr. Bernitz provided adult and children's vision care treatment of eye diseases and contact lenses. Phone 760-351-2020. Go Brawley Wildcats from Dr. Bernitz of Vision Care Center.
Welcome back to Warne Field for the second half. Tom Runco with Coach Don Biaggi bringing you all the exciting 2021 Brawley Wildcat football. Again, 2 weeks from the bell game, no game next week. That is the Brawley bye. And Calexico is going to put it up in the air. And this time the Wildcats look like they want to return it. This is Daniel Camilo Jr. And he's on the outside. He's got a lane. He's got one guy to beat. He runs around number 99, the quick kicker. And Camilo returns it all the way. Number 6, we're going to give him a return from the 15 to the 35, it looks like. So that would be 35 and 15. That's a 50-yard return. And Coach Don Biaggi going to give a shout-out here. My usual, a little late from halftime. We'll wait till there's a transition here. Brawley leading by a score of 41-7 over Calexico. Got the ball because they deferred the opening kickoff, which is the latest style on the NFL on down. Doubles, wide and slots on one side, standing in the pocket, and then gunning the ball down the middle to Isaiah Young is Ethan Gutierrez. And so on a 1st and 10 from the Calexico 30, 13 hits number 23. It is a pickup of 10 and a first down. On second down, the give is going to be to Isaiah Thomas. And he's going to be pretty much met at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him forward progress for a yard. And now the Wildcats will regroup. I want to give a shout out up to Northern California to my two little favorites up there. And that is Russell Thomas Solomini and Eleanor Erlinda Solomini, and my daughter Michelle and son-in-law Terry. And miss you guys, and have a good weekend in fall ball. Your papa misses you. All right, back to business. 10:50 to go. And Gutierrez now with one back, and that's Young. And Young just kind of ran kind of gently up into that little scrum and couldn't break loose. So give Calexico credit for, jamming that one up.
Yeah, he slanted off. That's why he was able to gain the yards. But they had guys in there and that had a hold of him. A little bit worked. Now he's out. And let's see, number 42.
Tanner Carranza is in for him. It'll be a third down for the Wildcats and 5 from the 20 of Calexico. And Gutierrez is going to keep it as he fakes to Tanner Carranza, and he is down. The whistle blew. He lets go of the football, and now there's some scrumming going on, and flags all over the place, and let's not get into this. And that goes for both teams. There's no need for whatever shenanigans were going on. And it looks like
I'd like to do a little shout out myself.
Yeah, go ahead.
My granddaughter, Kenna Biaggi, up in Mount Shasta. They were playing Edna High School today in varsity volleyball, and her team won 3-2. Had to go 5 sets to do it, but they did a great job.
First and goal for the Wildcats from the 8, and with a penalty, so we don't know how many. Okay. Yeah, you can also give my goddaughter a shout out if you want to. Okay,
and everybody's finally set.
Okay, and I'm going to give a shout out now to my SoCal ones too. They are asleep; they don't hear it. So, but I will give it out to them, and they can hear it tomorrow. Gutierrez runs on a first and goal from the 8. First and goal from the 8-yard line.
He gets down to the 2-yard line. He slipped and went down, and his teammate landed on top of him. So he didn't quite make it in for the TD. It was a good fake and a good run.
Okay, so shout out in Southern California over there in Newport Beach to the Ronco boys, Griffin, Tate, and Rowan. And I miss my little guys, and I will see them tomorrow. Here we go. Give us to Isaiah Thomas, and Thomas for the first time tonight is stuffed. So Calexico, they tried to go inside the tackles, Don, and they've had much more, inside the center of the line, following the Brawley guard and center, and they've had much more success just sliding off tackle.
Yeah, on that particular play, they jammed up the middle there, and he ran into a slug of people. Off tackle is where he's made a lot of yards tonight.
Okay, third and goal from the 3. And here is Ethan Gutierrez, and he just kind of keeps it. Touchdown, Brawley. And so with 8:20 to go, Brawley holds on to the football for close to 4 minutes to open the second half. And the Wildcats go up. And we will see what happens on the extra point. And Jorge Hotero will try it. The kick is up, and the kick is good. A look at the scoreboard. Brawley 48, Calexico 7. We will be back.
Tonight's Brawley Wildcat football is sponsored in part by the fine folks at Fry Chapel and Mortuary Crematory, always providing the service and care needed for a peaceful eternal rest. Located at 799 South Brawley Avenue in Brawley. Phone 760-412-5537. Go Brawley Wildcats from Fry's Chapel and Mortuary Crematory in Brawley.
Broadcast rights to this BOHS contest have been granted to the Desert Review by Brawley Union High School District and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the production without the express written consent of the Brawley Union High School District is prohibited.
Okay, welcome back to Warne Field. Been saying that a lot. Brawley scores again, 48-7. And Hotero kicks it off and kicks it pretty deep. It'll be taken on the 9-yard line. And Calexico trying to get number 19 outside, but that doesn't work very well. Down the bottom of the pile, number 6, Daniel Camilo Jr. Also out there around the tackle, number 24 for the Brawley High Wildcats, and that's Gilbert Corrales. So Calexico will now have a 1st and 10, their first possession of the second half, and that's going to come at their own 28-yard line. Wildcats leading this one 48-7, and I'm not sure. I think the running clock does not kick in, Coach, mandatorily until the fourth quarter. So for now, it looks like we'll see if it stops or not. 7:30 to go here, and it looks like it's going to be 22 as a quarterback, Zazueta, and a little misdirection, and the ball is actually down on the floor, and Calexico and Brawley recovers it. So on the first play, I don't know who fumbled it. Maybe I can see that on the recovery out there by number 17, Robert Platt. And so now suddenly Brawley with the football. And in Calexico territory, and we've said that a few times tonight, Don.
That's for sure. And these errors that they had have all been turned into points by the Wildcats. So,
first time we've seen that really double wing tee, and whatever the play was, Ethan Gutierrez is getting mad. No, that's number 22 running the football.
22 is the quarterback.
Oh, okay, that's Dawson Figueroa. So Dawson comes in, and they try to run that looked like the old wing tee to me. Probably a double wing tee with two tight ends. It's a running formation, and Calexico would have none of that. So number 22 takes a loss of 2, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 for the Wildcats at the Calexico 30. And
we have a completely different line and running backs.
Okay. And here comes number 25. That's Matthew Moreno. And Moreno, with a nice run, is going to get it down to the 20-yard line. So the freshman gets his chance to pack the mail, and he did a nice job of dancing through there.
Absolutely. And I've got, let's see. Uh-oh.
Okay, ball down to the Calexico 20. We'll try to catch up here in a second.
Number 70, Jake Rivas is one of the blockers that opened that hole, and number 70, and I don't have a Jake Rivas 75. I don't have a name for 75 of Brawley. Was on and made a nice big hole for him to go up the middle there.
I don't have a 75 either. And number 25 is Moreno.
Yeah,
he picks up one of the 2 that they needed for a first down.
We got on the line, we got number 70. We've got in the backfield 28. We've got number 57.
57 is Adon Herrera. And David Martinez is 79. In motion is number 3. That's Noah Gonzalez. And let's see, the Wildcats are going to get the first down. Nice little surge there by the Brawley line. And everybody patting the runner on the head. That's Moreno.
Number 61 is on the line there making holes. And got number 28 in the backfield. Number 44 is in the backfield. So this is a brand new group that's in running the offense now for the Wildcats.
Okay, a gain of 2 by Moreno. He needed 1 for the first down. So let's see kind of what happens. Center is number, as Don noted, 79. Unfortunately, I don't have one on my roster. And they're going to give it again to Moreno. 79 leads the blocking. Also out there blocking for the Wildcats. If he turns around, I'll tell you what his number is. Number 70. And that is
Rivas.
Jake Rivas. Yep, Jake Rivas. So on 1st and 10, Moreno picks up another 2. Yards getting kind of hard to get down there, Coach. Brawley leading 48-7.
Number 79 is the center.
And in motion, here we go. And nice run. 28 in there doing some blocking for the Wildcats. That is Jaden Neverez. Excuse me. And 3:15 to go here in the third quarter. Clock running. Brawley now with a third, and so we'll give Moreno three on that. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5. The ball now down around the 12-yard line. Dawson Figueroa is your quarterback. He's going to give it this time the 21, which is Charlie Lai. And Charlie is going to get not very far and actually pick up maybe 1. They move the stick. So we're going to give him a +1. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 6 at the 13. Brawley again leading clearly in hand and trying to get some guys some reps. Figueroa is your quarterback. Everybody is tight in. It's a double wing T. Man in motion is Noah Gonzalez. And the pitch is to Gonzalez, but he had to wait for the pitch, and they were waiting for him. And that got absolutely nowhere. Noah never had a chance. And he will lose a couple of yards on that.
Yeah, Calexico played that real well. They've still got their top people in trying to get the ball back so they have an opportunity to score. And it's good to see the Wildcats up with their other team on offense and defense getting the reps, because you always need the athletes with the reps. Speaking of reps, I want to give a shout out to my daughter, Monica Biaggi Rodriguez, in Washington State, and her children. Going up to see her. It'll be her birthday. I won't tell you how old, though.
You better not. I'll have to defend her. Okay. Okay, here we go. And
number 19 and number on the run, and number 12 on the tackle.
So +5 for number 19. And we'll give a little shout to your grandchildren, Hakeem, Leah, and my man Reinhardt. And I Brawley natives, not here, but I kind of was living for the day when one of them would be playing out here for the Wildcats. 41 seconds to go in the third quarter, and now a little misdirection, and 21 is loose, and he cuts back. So here come the Wildcats, and number 24 is coming over. Nice cut again, and now a plethora of Wildcats. And again, they're going to keep it running. Damian Abarca in there trying to get some game time to get his legs back. Big number 79 for the Wildcats, David Martinez, now in on the defensive line. And 21, Don, with another, big...
He's got real good vision. When he gets out there, he can see things and makes the cuts at the proper time. Okay, we'll see where things end up. It is Brawley heading to the fourth quarter with a 48-7 lead, and we will be back.
This portion of Brawley High Wildcat football is brought to you by the Man Company, where you will find a complete line of quality Shell lubricants, motor oils, grease, and gear oils. You'll find the quality and the service you need at the Man Company in Brawley, located at 1313 Main Street. Go Wildcats from the Man Company. Wildcat football is brought to you by Johnny's Burritos, with locations in Brawley, Imperial, and El Centro. Johnny's, with a full menu of your favorite Mexican and American food and the best burritos in town. That's Johnny's Burritos. Go Wildcats! From Johnny's Burritos in Brawley.
Okay, welcome back to Warne Field. Tom Ronco, Coach Don Biaggi, bringing you exciting 2021 Wildcat football. Wildcats up going into the fourth quarter, 48-7. But Calexico still with the main guard in there, and they are on the move. They have a 1st and 10 at the Brawley 35. Now trying to get outside is 21. Nice open field tackle out there, Don Biaggi.
Number 7 made that tackle, really quality tackle.
That is Jonathan, our boy. He's a sophomore. A-R-E-L. Oh, okay.
Arianes.
Arianes. Okay, sorry. Sorry, Jonathan. But nice tackle by the sophomore. Nice open field tackle.
Oh, yeah. That gave him a 9-yard loss, so it's 2nd and 19.
2nd and 19 now. Ball still in Brawley territory, but now at the Brawley 44. And we'll see what happens. Quarterback is Skier. He's number 1. Sets a man in motion, and the ball hits the ground, and Brawley doesn't see it, and by the time they do, it is recovered.
Number 67 recovered the ball for Calexico.
And that is going to add, so the ball was on the Brawley, the Brawley 44. So a loss of 7.
3rd and
26. Yeah. Now the ball in Calexico territory at the 49-yard line. And now it's Sueta, and somebody calls timeout. Calexico. And the clock is not running, so all right, go figure. I think the Brawley High Wildcats want to give their players a chance to play, Coach Don Biaggi, so they decided, hey, we've had enough running clocks this year. Well, let's let them play.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He started the clock after the kickoff before the first play was even done. So I'm not sure if we're not far enough ahead to have a running clock or not. I'm not sure.
Well, I think timeouts may not count, so that could be. We'll see. We'll watch it. When there's an incompleted pass is usually when the truth be told. Yeah. Brawley leading 48-7. Join us 2 weeks. And this. And
You're going to catch it. It is 1st down, Calexico.
Okay, so now Calexico with a fresh set of downs, and that is not a rookie error. That's an error by a veteran out there, or should be by now. 1st and 10, Calexico at the Brawley 29. So Brawley with another turnover. Let's see what the Wildcats can do. Sueta back to pass, gets hurried, throws out in the flat, and that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that was a good, excellent charge by the defensive line by the Wildcats. They got in there, forced him off of his spot, and then he hurried it because he knows if he hadn't, he was going to get wiped out.
Into the game for the Wildcats, number 53, Daniel Calasta. Okay. And still at the 29-yard line. It'll be second down on the incompleted pass. And the clock stops, so we are not running a clock. Okay, here goes Sesweta, and he's going to run, and he's got some room in there. And then he gets kind of gang tackled. Down at the bottom for the Wildcats is number 57, and that is Aiden Herrera. He made the initial hit. Sesweta a little bit sluggish getting up. Also in there now, number 70, as Don has already said, Coach has already said, that's Jake Rivas. And we have number 36 in for the Brawley Wildcats. Let me see if I got that right. I do not have a 36. Maybe it's on the newer rosters. Nope. There's a 37. That's Brody Enders. All right, so 22 with a gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5. And low snaps. Sesweta back to pass. Throws out in the flat as he gets hit. And I mean, he got hit. big number 70 got in there, Don, and he's having fun.
He sure is. He's getting off that ball real nice.
Okay, so 22 with another incompleted pass. And, of course, Calexico trailing 48 to 7. Yeah, not in a mood to give up the football. So the Wildcats are assuming they're going to go. It is 4th and a long 5. So we'll see what they come up with. The quarterback now is Esquer, and he throws the screen pass over the middle, intended for number 3, Andres Ramirez. And Ramirez would have had the first down, Don, but the pass was a little too tall.
Yeah, he threw that way too high, too hard, and he had the man wide open, but he also had 2 blockers that would have been very helpful. Although the question is were the blockers too far downfield?
Well, it's a mute issue at the moment, as Brawley will take over with 4:54 to go.
The clock is running.
Yep. I believe it is, yeah. When Brawley has the ball, I take it.
No, it's been running.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the Brawley 23. Dawson Figueroa is your quarterback, and the ball just hit the ground. I'm not sure what happened on that.
They never made a complete handoff. The ball was placed in, and it just popped right straight out. And it was lucky that he was there, and because the Calexico athlete was going after the ball to pick it up, and he did have nobody in front of him if he could have picked it up and took off. So it's 1st and 10 now on the 19-yard line of Brawley.
Okay, recovery out there by number 10 of Calexico, and that is Troy Marin. He is 5'8" and has no weight listed. And here goes the, let's see who's buried under that clump. Is that Esquer? Oh no, it's Sesweta. Okay, so 1st and 10 for Calexico at the Brawley 19. And Sesweta gets sacked, so that's going to be a -2.
Yeah.
-2. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 at the Brawley 21-yard line. And back to pass to Sesweta, and he just easily ducks the on-rushing number 44 for the Wildcats, and that is Brody Van Diver. And one of the things you got to learn as a defensive lineman is you don't run past the quarterback. it doesn't do you any good to run past him. And Brody thought he had a beat on him, but did not happen, and the pass was incomplete. That'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Still at the 21 of the Wildcats. Brawley still leading 48-7. 2:27 to go. And on 3rd down, another incomplete pass by Sesweta.
I think Calexico's a little bit too demoralized here. That was a fairly decent, the best pass that he has thrown, and it was receivable. And the receiver didn't really make a good effort on that. I was disappointed in number 21.
21 has played a heck of a game. That is Ernie Sanchez. But again, the rep coming in is that he can be kind of a disruptive kind of person at times. And now they're going to take
number
a pitch.
19.
And here's 19 trying to get around the corner. Held up by number 25. That's Matthew Moreno. Finished off by number 22, Dawson Figueroa, who's getting work on both sides. And 19 is going to get... he's going to get to the 19, so we'll give him +2.
1st and 10 for Brawley with 1:21 left and the clock running.
Brawley, 1st and 10 at the Brawley 21. And this should, under a minute. And this should be it. We will get ready for the bell game. And Wildcats will take on a Central Spartan team whose record is not what the Wildcats is. Brawley will improve to 7-2, losing their first 2 games, then winning 7 in a row. But I will tell you that Central's schedule, much tougher. The teams, if you go out and take a look at Max Preps or something, you will see a very, very ambitious schedule for the Division II Central Spartans. And we will see. Great game last week between El Paso's Del Valle High School and the Spartans. I saw part of the Christian Central game. That was a good one. We will see. Brawley has been tested at times, but not as tested maybe as the Spartans. So we'll see if that kind of does that. Brawley also hobbled. You can see Isaiah Don running to try to get in the line to exchange handshakes, and he's kind of limping his way out there. So the Wildcats will take a week to recover. They will take a week to probably relax, review game film, and then get busy with it in the second week and get ready for the bell game coming up on October 29th from Cal Jones Field. And again, to repeat our halftime guest, Billy Brewer, you must have a ticket to show up at Central. There are 5,500 tickets. Brawley gets 1,700 of those, and they will not sell any more. So Brawley will sell out that 1,700, and that will be it, folks, unless you can get some through somebody at Central High, and I believe they will not let you into the Brawley side. So ticket office will be open. Look at brawleyhigh.org. Brawley also has a Wildcat football Facebook page. Check it out there. Check the Desert Review, and there will be information on how to get your tickets for the bell game. That will be the next game. All right, the final score here tonight is Brawley 48, Calexico 7. And again, we'll give a roll call shout out to our sponsors. Jordan Central Implements in Brawley, El Centro, and Indio. Clicka Parker Insurance, OK Rubber Tire, the Dom Team for Real Estate, Carter Taylor and Lidco, Clayton Drain Tile and Maintenance, Smith Kendall Insurance and Real Estate, Brownies on Main Street and the Town Pump in Westmoreland, Johnny's Burritos in Brawley, Imperial and El Centro, Hart Insurance Centers in El Centro, and Brawley, of course, Ojeda Industries in Brawley, Brant Beef, Fried Chapel and Mortuary, The Man Company on Main Street, A&R Construction, Joel Gonzalez, and the people at Desert RV, One World Beef Packers, and Doc Barnitsky and Vision Care. Until 2 weeks from tomorrow night, for Coach Don Biaggi, our crew of Kayla on the camera and Laura engineering, the Desert Review and Wildcat Broadcasting, I'm Tom Runco saying good night.